Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. All right, I wanted to get into this lesson, all right, dealing with the effect, okay, of the knowledge and the wisdom and understanding that Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai has blessed us with, okay, starting with our elders on down, of the signs of the times, okay, of the things to look out for, and the what mindset to be in, all right, while all these things are taking place upon the earth. And the reason that's so important is because for a lot of people, this is new. Okay, this is unprecedented. The times we're in now, and as well as the times that we are very quickly approaching, and they don't know how to handle it. They don't know what to do mentally. All right, and as things get worse, they're still trying to process the things that have been set to be put in place. All right, so how much more for the things that are about to happen? Now, in terms of us, we've been constantly talking about this, meditating on it, speaking to one another about it, praying about it, you know, and so this isn't new in terms of the conceptually what's going on in the world. It's not new, all right, because we've already been familiarized with it, all right, and really our minds have been desensitized to it via the Holy Scriptures, all right, and so being familiar with it, it doesn't come off as a surprise, though it will be uncomfortable, and we will be put out of our comfort zones, and it will be intense. It's not going to be something that we didn't expect or have some, at least some level of foreknowledge about it because of the scriptures. And people underestimate that, and they don't see the point in why you should read the Bible or what's so important about it, but they fail to understand the power um, of stability that actually comes. That's why the Lord called this book the Comforter, because the words that are in here actually comfort you. Because when things are getting bad and chaotic, people panic and they fear what they don't know. And a lot of people, when sudden destruction comes, they don't know what's going on. They don't know what's happening, so they fear. Now, when they find out what's happening, which some of them wish they hadn't, now the next thing is, well, what do we do? And once they don't know what to do, that's even more scary. But the Lord has given us the blueprints to all of that. And guess what? We have the easiest solution. Have faith and trust in the Lord. You don't have to go and take out a loan from a bank to do this. You don't have to be working in a particular field for a certain amount of years to qualify for this. You just have to believe. Now, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 31, verse 13. And this is, these are the kind of prayers, all right, that we should be praying. Now, you can take certain Psalms, certain parts of it, and put it into a prayer. Because we're going to need the mercy of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Our life depends on the mercy that the Lord is going to bestow upon us. And Lord willing, He does have mercy on us, because that's the only way you're going to be able to make it out of these times. And if He gives you the gift of faith to believe in Him sincerely and wholeheartedly, that is a form of mercy. Now it says here in verse 13, "For I have heard the slander of many, for fear was on every side." Now, as of now, you can still have fear, but still know what's going on, because the scriptures talk about the righteous being quiet for fear of evil, because it's gonna get intense. And as humans, fear is a natural reaction. Now it's about what the fear does to you. Does the fear cripple you? Does it cause you to make invalid decisions? Does it cause you to go off? You have to be able to put that fear in check. Okay, you can still have fear, but have your spirit in control. So as it says, for fear was on every side, and that's very soon. That's what's going to be happening. Right now, it's a matter of, well, okay, we're just gonna stay firm. We're just gonna keep on pushing. So what? Even if we can't go into the supermarkets, it's all right. We'll have faith in the Lord. But the things get more intense as time goes. Remember, we're coming into a time. This is the doorway into a time like never before, which means that it's not going to stop short of anything that we've seen before. It's going to keep on pushing and surpassing in terms of intensity, in terms of violence, in terms of unprecedented events. Things are going to keep on escalating onto a level that the world has never seen before. So that means that the fear is going to go up, the uncomfortability is going to go up, the desperation is going to go up, the chaos is going to go up, and the panicking. When people don't understand or value mental stability until they enter panic mode, where they don't know what's going on, they don't know what to do, they can't think right. And when you can't think right, you can't make rational decisions. And if you cannot make rational decisions, you will make irrational decisions, which will end up resulting in things that are detrimental for your well being or for those that are around you. See? So, as King David is saying here, fear was on every side. Yep, Psalm of David. Let's see. Fear was on every side, which it will be, while they took counsel together against me. They devised to take away my life. And that's now starting at the top with these wicked elites. Guess what? They they're the type of individuals to blow up a whole plane for one individual. For one person on the plane, they will destroy the whole plane. They will bomb a whole city to eliminate one person. So it's not out of their capability to set up things in a way where it accomplishes multiple things. Well, it pushes for one towards the new world order, but it also gives the perfect storm to eliminate those that will be a threat or an opposition to them. And so, yes, they do take counsel together against us. The scriptures talk about in 2nd Ezra 16 about the insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. And these counsels are going to be directed as when you read in Revelation 13, it talks about those that would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. That meaning they're going to take counsels and put in certain policies, but in order to enforce those policies, there's consequences. Why do you think people follow the law? Out of fear of what happens when you break the law, when you don't follow the law. The incentive is you escape the judgment of not following the law. That is the incentive of following the law. All right? Escaping the consequence is the incentive of following the law. You don't run a red light because you don't want a cop to pull you over and give you a ticket or whatever the case may be. And so that is your incentive as to why I shouldn't run a red light. Well, I want to avoid having to deal with these cops. I'm not going to drive without a license because, once again, I want to avoid doing this. I'm not going to go and just, put somebody to death because, once again, I want to avoid going to jail. See, these are all consequences that are used to enforce laws. If there were no consequences for those laws, people would not follow the laws. So when they say that they're going to enforce these mandates, that means they're going to bring harsh consequences for people who don't follow these mandates. You see? And a part of that is consulting together against those that are not with it. Because not only is this, well, according to the narrative, you guys are disrupting you guys are causing problems. You guys are the reason why cases are going up. But it's also for them identifying dissidents, identifying people that will be a problem when they introduce Marcus, because they look at the reasons for why people don't want to deal with Vanessa. Because there are certain people, as they've said, they have those who they got even before any intent to the sheeple, the completely dumbed down ones who just ran full speed ahead before they even brought any incentives. These people were at the front of the line. Cool. There's those kind of people who they got. Next came those who fell when they brought the incentives. That's beautiful. They got those kind of people out the way. Then those who they're bringing the consequences for, they're bringing the mandates, the borderline, those they're going to get as well. Those that are going to break, who initially didn't break. Then it comes down to the last few. And they can pinpoint and say, these people, they didn't go when we first brought it out. They didn't go when we brought the incentives. They're not going when we bring in these mandates. Then there's no way to get them to convince them. So what do we need to do? Well, we need to eliminate these people because they don't have any room. We don't have any room for people like this in our society. Okay, Salakia. All right, we don't have any room for people like this in our society because these are hardcore. No matter what we say, they're not going to be with it. No matter how much we try and torture them with these mandates, they're not going to break. We have to eliminate them because how would we ever get somebody like this to comply in our new world order? We won't, and it would be a problem because they would cause trouble and try to disrupt others who may be borderline in terms of complying. See? So as it says here, they devised to take away my life, which they trust and believe blood is nothing to them. There's absolutely nothing. Just because they have a suit and tie on and they speak as a lamb does not mean that they fear blood. Of course not. Verse 4, and it will get bloody. It will get bloody. And people, it's hard for people to see that. It's hard for them to see, well, how do you go from now to chaotic and bloody? Well, how did you go from 2018 to now? Okay. Verse 14. But I trusted in thee, O Lord. I said, thou art my power. My times are in thy hand. Deliver me from the hand of mine enemies and from them that persecute me. And that is the mindset to have. We always say this, and don't be shocked. You will have people that claim to have faith, but now is when everybody's faith is going to be put to the test. And what they don't understand is when they say, "Oh yeah, I have faith," what do you think that means? That means that there's coming a time when you actually need to show your faith. The Lord doesn't want to hear about your faith. That doesn't mean a damn thing. He wants to see it in action. Actions speak louder than words. So, do you actually believe that your times are in the hand of the Lord and that He will deliver you? Can you believe in the Lord when you don't see any other way out? And all you see is just danger coming towards you and nothing is still nothing is happening and the danger is getting closer and closer? In that time, under all that pressure, can you still believe? Can you still have faith? Can you still keep going through what you're going through and say, no, I want to trust in the Lord? If your daughter's sick and she's borderline passing, and they say, well, you either deal with Vanessa or else we're not going to perform this operation or we're not going to heal her. And I mean, this is something that requires intensive operation. And your wife is crying and they looking at you like, damn, you really about to let your daughter die? And all this, that, and the third. Can you still believe under those conditions? Because you do realize those are very different conditions than when everything is all sweet and you can see your daughter running around and you're at home and you're talking and everything sounds good. Two very different scenarios. You see? So yes, it will get difficult, but do you think it was easy? The situation King David was in and all these men, when they wrote these psalms, they weren't on a carnival ride having a good old time. When they stuck to the words that they said, it wasn't the easiest thing to do, but they did it, and that's why they're reverenced in the scriptures. So when you read it, you need to understand that it wasn't they were going through things. When you read a lot of these psalms, the experience we're reading about it, but the experience was more intense. Hence, he wrote these psalms. Now, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 43, verse 1. Judge me, O power, and plead my cause against an ungodly nation. O deliver me from the deceitful and unjust man. And who is the deceitful and unjust man? This devil that we're dealing with right now. The one that has power over the earth right now. They are deceitful and they are unjust. So if somebody is deceitful and unjust, why would you trust anything that comes out of their mouth? Because they're playing you just like all their previous victims. And the reason they've succeeded so far is because they're good at deceiving. So why would you? Well, I don't want to do it. I'm not. It's not like I want to do it. So why are you doing it? If I do it, it's not like I trust them. Well, I mean, it kind of is because if you know better, why would you end up? And that's the thing. People are not going to be doing this thing because they know better. They're going to be doing it because they can't endure anymore. And that's what it is. From here on out, it's an endurance test. It's completely an endurance test, and it's gonna exhaust you physically, mentally, and spiritually. You're gonna need to, and that's where the elect are gonna shine, and the rest are gonna break, because it's gonna force the elect to tap into a different level that's already within them, but it can only be drawn out under certain circumstances, and the Lord is gonna, through these conditions, force the elect to tap into those conditions. A lot of times when we call on the Lord now, yes, there are situations where there's absolutely no other way out, but there's also other situations where if the Lord helped you out, it would be very, very convenient. But it wasn't a life and death situation. Once again, there are those situations, but for other situations when we pray, it'll really help us out, but we won't die if we don't get it. So we pray to the Lord, and we do our best to still go about how we have to go about it. But now these are going to be conditions when there is no go about it how you can go about it. There's no other way. And your life depends on this. That's a different level of faith you need to have. When your life depends on it, and I mean you're not seeing, there ain't no angels next that you're seeing. You're looking up in the skies and you're just seeing skies. Now the Lord is there, but you can't see him. When you speak, he hears it, but you can't hear him. So that's and that's one thing now. But when you're in a dire situation, man, they once again the elect are going to tap into another level, but others are going to break because they're gonna what they're gonna be more afraid of what they can see, all right, than being faithful to what they cannot see. And this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. And this is a very, very true and important precept that people underestimate because they don't see why when we tell you to study and even to do these lessons and to get involved, yes, that's benefiting you because you are preparing your mind. When it doesn't matter how strong your body is, if your mind breaks down, you are breaking down. Once your engine is done, your car is done. It doesn't matter how big it looks, how nice it is. Once your mind is gone, you are gone. So when you read and you study and you do these videos and the spirit of the Lord is constantly dwelling within you, because in order to do these things, it needs to be dwelling with you. The more and more you do that, you don't even realize it, but it's strengthening you. And you're becoming more familiar with the spirit of the Lord. And the spirit of the Lord is becoming more familiar with you. Okay? Because so that way you are known and you are accepted by the Lord. So when you call on the Lord, it's not going to be, well, who the hell is this guy? All right, it's going to be a familiar call, and the Lord will hear you, and that stability goes a long way. Knowing what's happening in chaos goes a very long way. And knowing what to do goes an even further way. You'll be calm. You'll say, okay, well, all right, I see what's going on, but we knew this was going to happen. Okay, and that'll strengthen your faith because, well, if everything we believed is happening, then that means that we also believe that if we call on the Lord, it'll work. So we're gonna call on the Lord. What we're seeing is written, and as a matter of fact, this is beautiful because next comes the kingdom. There are certain thoughts and a certain kind of mentality you can have, and or you will have, or you should have, in these times that'll keep you calm. The Lord said we're gonna rejoice. He said we're gonna sing. He said we're gonna eat. So that means we're going to be in a good case. He said we're going to laugh at famine and destruction. That means we're going to be in a good case. So don't panic. Whatever the situation looks like right now, the Lord is not a liar, and these scriptures are written in there, so they got to be fulfilled some way somehow. All right. So the scriptures are more powerful than what you're even seeing in front of you. It says, "And strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure," and that is our treasure. The same way the name of the Lord is our treasure, and we will run into it, and Lord willing, be safe. But the trick is, not everybody will be safe, and not everybody will be given access to the name of the Lord in terms of to run into it and have something actually happen for you. Now, lastly, this is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 9, verse 5. Hey, because we're here. I mean, we've been talking about now. Would you rather just be back in 2018 and just constantly be prophesying about it and nothing happening? No, this is exactly what we've been talking about, and we've been constantly hastening and praying for the Lord to bring these things to come to pass. So, well, as we're seeing them come to pass, when you were praying for them to come to pass, were you not prepared to go through them? You have to be. There's only one way out, and that's through Jacob's trouble. So it's I mean, it's better now than never, because whether now or later, you still gonna go through it. But the sooner it comes, the sooner it's over. The sooner it's over, the sooner Yahushua is here, or the sooner the kingdom is here. So it says, verse 5, "For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest." And that means we're seeing the end. Yes, the end of days, the apocalypse, the last days that we constantly have heard about. There's been so many movies made about it. Everybody has been talking about it. Well, it's here. We are seeing it. We are living it. And it's going to be written about. Verse 6, "Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs." You have wildfires over there in Greece, in Turkey. You have floods in China. You have earthquakes in China. Okay, you have so many things that are going, droughts, heat waves, snow. You have all these signs, blood moons, showing you that, yo, for all of them to be happening all around the same time, as well as people uprising, as well as these draconian laws. I mean, we're witnessing prophecy. This has to be it. The signs the Lord told us to look for, they're all happening, and it's gonna intensify. So this has to be it. There's only one signs, right? The Lord said, look out for these. If He gave us a group of signs to look out for, there's only one of those groups. And once we see that happen in Salakia, in that sequence, in the way he said it would happen, when else is that gonna happen again? Because it hasn't happened. He said it, and we were looking for it, and we finally see it happening. So why would everything he said we should look out for happen, and then nothing happens after that? And then we gotta wait for it to happen again before something happens? No. He didn't say, look, I'm gonna do all this. These are the signs to look out for, but then nothing's gonna happen after. And then maybe 100 years later, you look out for the same signs again, and then signs gonna happen. That's not written. All right. It says, verse 7, "And every one that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed." So people want to sit down and not do works, and the only works is to justify not doing works. Well, guess what? That's going to work against you. You're not, you trying to justify yourself is only going to work against you. We're going to tell you, okay, well, you're going off, but whether you win an argument or a point to explain that, no, I'm not going off, that's not going to affect us, because, okay, well, we told you what it is. You don't believe it? That's fine. When all hell breaks loose, because you didn't believe what we said, it's not going to affect us. You're the one who's going to catch hell. We're all seeking our salvation. And we believe you got to be out there doing the works. You got to be doing the works here. You got to be doing what's pleasing to the Lord. All right. If that's your lot, that's what you're supposed to be doing. So we're going to do that. Now, we're going to tell you, if you're not doing it, that you should do it. But whether you deny it or justify why you shouldn't, that will not change the fact that we're going to continue to do it. And Lord willing, is going to be beneficial for us. So, as it says, escape by his works and by faith. And there are different kinds of works that the Lord, well, it's between you and him ultimately and what he deems acceptable to you. But we know the main forms are to go out on the highways and byways as he commanded us, to do your lessons as he commanded us, and to walk in the ways of the Lord. Guess what? When you do these things, that is showing your faith. You sitting there and saying, I have faith, you're not showing anything. Okay, you cannot show works by saying I have faith, but you can show faith by doing or showing or yeah, doing works. When you can do works and that shows your faith. But if you just say I have faith, that doesn't show anything. It doesn't show your faith, it doesn't show your works, it doesn't show anything. Well, okay, well, I'm where's the proof? In the pudding. All right, where's the proof? I have faith. I totally believe. Well, where's your proof? What do you have to show for it? What makes you any different from a Christian that says I have faith? What makes you any different than the Lord is looking like, okay, well, I'm coming to reward every man according to his works. I can't. What do you mean? I have proof. Okay. Why do you think you get tested in class? Why do you think professors give quizzes and they give tests and they give exams? Why don't they just ask you, do you understand the material? And you say yes, and they, okay, well, here you go, you pass. Why do they test? To prove, to see, okay, well, do you actually understand the material? You can sit there and tell me you understand it all you want, but until you pass that test, you don't understand it. So that's what the Lord is going to do. Well, he's going to say, okay, well, you can tell me you have faith, but so what? Show me. And until I see some works, until I see you pass that test, I'm not going to believe you have faith. You're just saying that. So you see why doing works is actually important? It says, whereby ye have believed. So your works have to be according to you believing in the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And what's going to happen to those people? Verse 8, shall be preserved from the said perils. All right, now what does that word preserve mean? Let's look up the word preserve. We know what it means, but once again, getting synonyms and definitions bring it to life, right? So preserve, to maintain something in its original or existing state. All right, maintain or keep alive. You see that? Maintain or keep alive, to take care of, look after, protect, save. See why we look up these words? Because those synonyms. So it says, shall be preserved from the said perils, or shall be saved from the said perils, or shall be taken care of from the said perils, shall be protected from the said perils, shall be kept alive from the said perils. What are some examples of these said perils? Famines, okay, the sword, the temptation, the nuclear destruction, all right, the pestilence. These are the said perils, the dangers, rape, cannibalism. So you will be kept alive and protected from those perils, torture. Because what? Because your work showed your faith that you believed. And shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. And it doesn't get better than that. All right, it doesn't get deeper than that. If you are a chosen vessel, well then I mean you're gonna be saved regardless. The only thing is who's the chosen vessel? Well, that's what you have to find out by giving your diligence. You have to give all diligence to make your calling and election sure. That's how you're gonna find out if you're one of the chosen vessels or not. So that's the thing about it. But that's pretty much it. Lord willing, that was exhorting and edifying unto the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.